Good afternoon, and thank you for joining the City of San Jose's webinar series. My name is Sandra Freitas, and I will be facilitating this afternoon's webinar on a conversation with Facebook and Nextdoor, customer engagement strategies in response to COVID-19. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our business owner space partners, U.S. Small Business Administration, Downtown Willow Glen Business District, Latino Business Council of Silicon Valley, Small Business Majority, Local Initiative Support Corporation, LISC, Silicon Valley Black Chamber of Commerce, Silicon Valley Organization, Small Business Development Center, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Silicon Valley, Winchester Business Association, San Jose Public Library Works, Opportunity Fund, SCORE, Silicon Valley, eBay, Start Small, Think Big, Nextdoor, Facebook. Today's webinar is being recorded and it will be posted on our website for public viewing. Today's agenda will focus on housekeeping items. We'll introduce this afternoon's speakers and their presentations. We'll address the Q&A question and answer session, which will conclude after the webinar session, and provide a list of resources and details for next week's webinar. All participants will be placed on mute for the entirety of the presentation and will be invited to speak during the Q&A session, which will immediately follow the presentations. Please use the Q&A functionality located at the bottom of your screen to scribe questions that pertain to today's presentation topic. If you have any questions pertaining to other COVID-19 topics, please email or visit our website for resources at www.sjeconomy.com/COVID-19 business info, or send an email to COVID-19 sjbusiness@sanjose.gov. Vietnamese and Spanish reading staff are reading the emails, so feel free to ask questions in those languages if it is more comfortable for you. The speaker will answer selected questions in English, after which the answer will be repeated in the language in which it was asked. In the event you need to leave during the webinar while it's in session, please email your question and someone from our staff will get back to you. Our email address is listed here and at the end of this presentation. Today's presenters will only address questions pertaining to their presentations. Our first speaker for this afternoon is Ali Jafari. He is the Vice President of the Business Development for Nextdoor. Our second presenter is Janelle Watson. She is the U.S. Politics and Outreach Government Manager for California's Facebook. And our third guest speaker is Diana Dukas, who is the Policy Manager for Facebook. At this very moment, I would like to invite Ali to share his presentation.
Thanks, Sandra. Let me share my screen and pull my presentation up. Great. So thank you to everyone for joining this webinar. As Sandra mentioned, my name is Ali Jafari. I lead the business development team for Nextdoor, and I've been with the company for a little over 3 years. I actually grew up in the city of San Jose, right on the border of San Jose and Los Gatos. I went to Lee High School and currently live in the South Bay. So I'm very familiar with city of San Jose and all of the great businesses in the South Bay. So during my presentation, I will cover what Nextdoor is as a product and some of the things that we've historically done to support small businesses, and some of the things that we've launched over the course of the past couple months to help with COVID-19 specifically. And then to Sandra's point, there will be time at the end of the presentations for any questions. And the presentation will be made available to you as well in case you're not able to see something on one of the slides that I'm presenting. So if I was with you in person, I would ask how many of you are Nextdoor members, and by show of hands be able to see. But since I can't do that, I'm going to assume that all of you are on Nextdoor. Nextdoor is the neighborhood hub, and what that means is that it's something that connects and allows people to exchange information, goods, and services locally. It's where neighbors go to stay informed, plan get-togethers, and help each other in their everyday lives. Whether it's looking for a local plumber or babysitter, people come to Nextdoor for trusted recommendations because they know everyone in the neighborhood is verified, ensuring a private and trusted platform. There's three things that make Nextdoor unique from every other platform, and all of them are tied to the fact that doing local at scale is very hard. The first thing is that it's 100% private. All of our members have to submit their real names and their addresses, and we go through the process of verifying that our members are who they say they are. And all of the posts and conversations that occur in our 200,000 plus neighborhoods across the US are completely private to that neighborhood. They're not indexed by search engines. I can't see into a neighborhood in San Francisco, and the people in San Francisco can't see into my neighborhood in Saratoga. And that's been done very intentionally so that people in the neighborhood are comfortable interacting with each other the same way they would if they were interacting in real life. We are 100% local and in fact, hyper-local. Many of our households, or many of our neighborhoods, are anywhere between 50 households to a few hundred households. And each of our neighborhoods have discrete neighborhood boundaries and maps that were drawn and developed by our members or our founding members. And each of our neighborhoods have a name that was developed and named by the founding member of the neighborhood. And then lastly, it's useful. There's a lot of utility on Nextdoor, whether it's recommending something to a neighbor, selling or giving something away, talking about events, reporting a lost package. People come to Nextdoor every day to communicate with people in their neighborhood and get things done just as they would in the real world. In terms of our size, we have 100% neighborhood penetration across the US. That's 210,000 plus neighborhoods. So if you go to nextdoor.com or if you download the Nextdoor app, there will be an existing neighborhood that exists no matter where you are. And then we're obviously available in all 50 states. A few more stats about our audience. I mentioned that 100% of our members are verified. The median household income is $90,000. I think the median household income across the US is around $63,000. So it's a more affluent audience versus the US average. 210,000 plus neighborhoods, 100% coverage, available in all 50 states. 74% of our members are homeowners, and 76% of them are married with kids. And neighbors come to Nextdoor to have a variety of conversations, whether it's asking about their favorite restaurant, looking for a sewing machine, or looking for a home for a pet that they're looking to give away. Again, the concept of Nextdoor and what we've tried to replicate via the product and the app is the exact same one that happens in neighborhoods. If you're looking for a tutor, for example, the chances are that you'll ask a parent in the school. And if a parent in the school gives you a recommendation for a good tutor that you know, that's generally good enough. You'll contact the tutor, you'll interview them, and you'll hire them. And there's a lot of trust built into that recommendation and that interaction. And so we've really tried to replicate that on Nextdoor. So if you're looking for something, if you need a recommendation for a good plumber or a handyman, if you're trying to get someone's opinion on something in the neighborhood who's facing a lot of the same things that you are, Nextdoor is the place to go. Our posts or our conversations really fall into the following 6 categories: recommendations, posts about crime and safety, classifieds, lost and found, urgent alerts, or events. The other thing that I'll mention is, in addition to our members, we have lots and lots of local organizations that post on Nextdoor, whether they're police departments, fire departments, departments of emergency management. During COVID-19, we've had the CDC, the mayor's office, state governors post messages on Nextdoor. So it's been a great opportunity for people to consume timely news related to their neighborhood. Neighbors also talk about and support local businesses on Nextdoor. So 67% of our members share recommendations with neighbors. And I talked about the power of getting a recommendation from your neighbor. 88% of our members shop at a local business at least once a week. And 40 million businesses have been recommended by neighbors on Nextdoor since the product launched back in 2011. So with that, I'll talk about what Nextdoor does for local businesses, and then finish with what we're doing for local businesses around COVID-19. So what Nextdoor offers to local audiences relates to what they can do for local businesses. So you can set up a personal profile on Nextdoor, but you can also set up a business profile on Nextdoor through a business page. And that's 100% free and available to any business in the neighborhood. And I'll walk through the steps and the process for that in an upcoming slide. When you set up a business page on Nextdoor, the things that you have access to are obviously the hyper-local audience, people that care deeply about the health of the neighborhood. I think our members join Nextdoor because they care about their community and they want to give back. And then, of course, community advocacy. So 76% of our members have been influenced by a neighbor's recommendation of a local business. And many of our posts are about people looking for recommendations from local businesses. So why is Nextdoor better? So 1 in 5 households on Nextdoor 1 in 5 households across the US use Nextdoor. The second point is really, really important. There's instant reach. There's no need to build a follower base like you have to do with other platforms. When you join Nextdoor as a member, you get access to other members. And when you join Nextdoor as a business, you get instant reach to those members as well. And of course, it's a high intent audience. The benefit of joining Nextdoor as a business is you've got an audience that already has an affinity for your business. Whether you're a restaurant or a coffee shop or a nail salon, chances are that the people in the neighborhood have already visited your business and have an affinity for your business and want to support you. And so we've seen lots and lots of examples during the COVID-19 crisis of people posting about, is this business open? Do they have pickup and delivery options? Do they have special hours for senior citizens? And we've started to bring a lot of that content into Nextdoor. And then we, of course, have neighborhood level targeting and then recommendations, not reviews. So I talked about the fact that you can set up you can join Nextdoor as a member, but you can also join Nextdoor as a business by setting up a free business page. If you go to the web, there's a business section over on the left-hand side, and if you open up the app and click on More at the bottom, you'll see a business section which categorizes all of the businesses in your neighborhood. This is what the business page looks like. So there's the business name. There's a number of people who have recommended you in the neighborhood. There's the map of where the business is located, the business address, and basic information like operating hours, phone numbers, the website, and an email address. And if you have any local deals or coupons or offers that you're promoting to the neighborhood, this is where they would appear as well. And when you set up a business page, you also get a unique URL that you can direct people to, where they can go to recommend your business. And that's a very effective way for you to interact with people in the neighborhood. So we'll make this presentation available, as I mentioned earlier. So if you miss anything here, know that you'll have a copy of this presentation to refer to later. But the steps required to set up a business page are to first go to nextdoor.com/business. If you're already a Nextdoor member, you can log into your Nextdoor account and link your member account to your business profile. And then we'll go through the process of verifying that you're the business owner. You can also set up a business page as a business owner separate from your member account by going through the exact same steps as I described before. In this scenario, you don't actually link your member account to your business account. It's a completely separate login process with a different email address if you prefer. Once you've registered as a business, you complete your business profile, you add a logo or a cover photo, you update your business categories, you can add takeout and delivery info. You can update your contact information, add an article or something unique about your business. And this is where you can also upload photos of your business, staff, customers, things like that. Anything that you want our members to see about the uniqueness of your business. And then once it's set up, you can assess your neighborhood penetration or reputation. I talked about the fact that we have recommendations, not reviews. Reviews can be positive or negative. And when we launched business pages, we very intentionally sort of designed it so that members would give recommendations, which means that the business has to meet a very, very high hurdle in order for someone to feel compelled to go in and actually recommend that business. So as a business, you see the count of how many people have recommended your business. We run a program called Neighborhood Favorites every year, where we ask people to vote for their favorite pizza place, their favorite ice cream shop, and so on. So if you're a neighborhood favorite, you get a neighborhood favorite badge here as well. We also show you how many neighborhoods can see your business, and then how many neighbors can see your business, depending on where you're located. And then again, you get a unique URL that you can share via Facebook, via Twitter. You can, of course, copy the link. You can email it to people to ask for recommendations if they've obviously had a good experience with your business. And then we, of course, encourage people to respond to recommendations. We see this on Yelp a lot, where people sometimes write negative reviews, and the business goes in and responds to the negative review. This tends to be a more positive process because, again, it's a recommendation, and it's a very good way for the business to keep the members engaged and thank them for giving the business a recommendation. And then recently, we launched something called a local deal. So as a business, you can buy an ad, and that's priced on a monthly basis depending on the neighborhood you're in and the number of people that you're reaching. And that could be a coupon, a % off. It could be something that features the specials or the offers that you have, and that appears in a bunch of different places across Nextdoor, including your page that I'll show you. And then we have hyper local targeting. So it can be at the city level, it can be at the neighborhood level, it can even be down at the household level. This is where the various places where the local offers appear. The first and foremost is the feed, where all of the neighbor posts are. There's a local deal section, which has a roll-up of all of the deals and coupons in the neighborhood, and then a feed right below that. There's a business section, which I mentioned earlier, which categorizes the businesses where the local deal also appears. And then, of course, your own business page as well. And businesses love local deals. Here's a few testimonials. I won't read all of them. There's one from a person named Tom at the Toasted Yo Cafe, and it reads, "In just 1 month, our local deals helped us reach tens of thousands of people who we know live in our neighborhood, that's huge for us. Again, I think the benefit of engaging with neighbors or running local deals on Nextdoor is that you're reaching an audience that already has an affinity for your business and want to see the businesses do well. So next, I'll talk about some of the features that we've launched during the COVID-19 crisis to try and help local businesses. So the biggest challenge that local businesses are facing right now, two of the biggest challenges are how to reach people with kind of timely and relevant information, and then how to continue to generate as much cash flow as possible with shelter in place. So, excuse me, one of the things that we announced about a month ago was that if you're a business that has either takeout and delivery options or is selling a gift card, which allows people to redeem the gift card later, we will promote that 100% for free on Nextdoor. So on the business page, we added 2 new fields, a takeout and delivery field, and a purchase gift card field. So if you have a URL for either one of those features, you can copy and paste them on your business page, and we will promote your business to our members 100% for free. And then coming soon, we're about 2 weeks away from this. We're also going to allow businesses to post for free in the newsfeed. And here are some examples of businesses that we've tested just to show you the type of content that's being posted into the feed. This can be we're open again and we're happy to sort of be back after shelter in place. It could be businesses sort of communicating the process and the guidelines for reopening once businesses come back. It could be special shopping hours for senior citizens or pickup and delivery options. It's up to the business to come up with the post. But we're gonna roll this out in early June, and if you have a business page that's been claimed, you can participate in this process as well. Along with business posting, we're going to launch a dashboard, which gives you all sorts of goodies: how many people have seen your post, how many people have clicked, how many people have redeemed and purchased. It'll give you a good sense for how your offers and your posts are doing. So that's the end of my presentation. I've included my email address here as well. In case you have questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly. I know I went through the presentation fairly quickly. Hopefully some of you are familiar with Nextdoor, but for those of you who aren't, I'm hoping that presentation was helpful. And again, it'll be made available to you so that you can look at it in more detail after this. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ollie. At this very moment, I would like to invite our Facebook presenters, Diana Dukas, to present on behalf of Facebook.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We are honored to be here and be part of the San Jose community. And also thank you to Nextdoor for, it's so amazing to see so many companies that are really putting small businesses front and center. And that is exactly something that we've been doing at Facebook. So I have the fortunate opportunity to manage our economic impact work at Facebook. We all know that small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and as soon as we even had an inkling that the small business community was going to be affected the way that it is now because of the COVID crisis, we knew that we needed to act and play even a small role in recovery and some of the relief efforts. So the first thing one of the first things that we did was our COO, Sheryl Sandberg, about a month and a half ago had announced that we were committing $100 million across the globe to the small business community. That meant there was $40 million allocated for the US, and actually the Bay Area received about 15 million of that in a combination between cash grants and ad credits, optional ad credits. So the applications did just close about a week ago, and we are furiously working through the process to make sure that we can get resources into the hands of small businesses as soon as possible. But of course, we want to take extreme care. But a couple of things about that program, we were looking for for-profit companies. They had to employ between 2 and 50 employees. We did make sure that the application was fully available in Spanish and had some guides in Mandarin. We needed to make sure that the business was in business for at least a year. And we also wanted to hear about the business from themselves, how they would use the funds, how they would contribute back to the community, how they would be using it to support their organization and the people around them. And so we were glad to see how many people reached out and took part of the application process. And as I said, we're furiously moving through it now. Something else we wanted to point out is that we also made sure that we were placing a special emphasis on minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses, knowing that any time is usually there's a challenge to accessing capital, but never more so than during a crisis. And so we wanted to make sure that we did all that we could to support the community. So if you have applied and you please be on the lookout for emails from us in the future. And if not, there are a couple of other ways that we're supporting the community. So if you don't mind pressing next. And I'll skip over this one, but this is the location across the country where the cities that were eligible for our grants program. So next. So in tandem with the small business community grants and business grants, we launched a Facebook resource hub. And so if you go to facebook.com/business, you'll be able to find tips, tools, trainings, and resiliency guides on how you as a small business can navigate this very challenging time. And so you can go on and we have sector by sector guides. So whether you're a restaurant, whether you're in retail, whether you're already e-commerce, we have sector by sector guides to help you navigate. We also have some free e-learning and digital marketing skills curriculum that's on that site so that you can learn from us how to best leverage your presence on our platforms and make sure that you're communicating with your customers, that you're reaching the people that you need to ensure that you're getting all the, you're sustaining yourself in the best way you can. I'll click next. And there are a couple of other products that we are furiously developing. This is just a handful. So first, I'm very glad to see that Nextdoor did something very similar, but we developed a gift card product. And so you can go onto into our business resource hub and you can partner with one of our third-party platform partners. What that allows you to do is to partner with them and be able to share gift cards, the gift card opportunity with your patrons and your networks and your communities. And so you can post this gift card opportunity, your networks can go right through, can click right on that awareness page and can support you and buy a gift card to support you during this time. We've also adapted our fundraising tools. So this is the first time that we've allowed for small businesses to use the fundraising tool. Typically, it's only for individuals or nonprofits, but because we know that we need to diversify the resources that small businesses are receiving at this point, we wanted to make sure that this was available for them as well. And we also wanted to make sure that you're communicating with your customers as best you can. And we developed a temporary service change tool that allows you to tell your customers whether or not your operations have changed, your hours, if you're pickup or delivery, or if you're closed. Again, making sure that communication is at the front and foremost way that you're making sure that you're staying in touch with the people around you and allowing you to support the communities to support you. A couple of things that we also launched this week on Instagram, there is a support small business opportunity for you to support small businesses on your Instagram stories. So you can put a support small business sticker on your Instagram stories, and it will make sure that you're allowing your followers to know that and remind them that your favorite small business may be open and looking for customers, and it's a great opportunity to support them. And we're going to continue to iterate and listen to the small business community on what else we can be doing. We developed a funding awareness portal in partnership and awareness for the PPP program that came out of the SBA, wanting to make sure that our small businesses knew of the opportunities that were available to them. And so you would have seen a quick promotion on your Instagram or your Facebook page, bringing you to this funding portal, which would not only bring you to the SBA for guidance, but it would then also show you some other lenders that are engaged in the PPP program, but also to your community banks and to minority-owned lenders as well. And so those are just a few of the ways that Facebook is supporting the small business community. And we look forward to continuing the conversation with you all and listening to what you all need. And so please make sure that you're telling us what it is that you need from us. And next.
And now we wanted to take some time to walk you through some of our information centers that we've launched as well. So some of you actually may have already seen this or used it, but Facebook launched what we call our Coronavirus Information Center Hub. So when you log on to Facebook, whether this is on desktop or on mobile, you'll see it at the very top of newsfeed. And what we're featuring there is basically a central place for people to get updated news and information and resources in regards to tips for staying healthy, as well as learning from their government agencies, their health authorities, as well as other nonprofits and businesses, kind of what's going on within their local community. And we feature everything from articles, videos, and posts about social distancing. And with a lot of states reopening, we've also tried to switch and caveat to that as well to feature those. And one of the other things is you can see on the right hand that we recently added is you can also go there to request or offer help. So anything such as volunteering to deliver groceries, or if you wanted to donate to a local food pantry or a fundraiser, all of that will now be featured at the top of people's newsfeed when they do click on our Coronavirus Information Hub. Next slide. We also have CrowdTangle dashboards. So Diana touched upon this briefly, but we wanted to go over some tools and resources for you all to think about on the platform that you want to be leveraging right now, especially as you're thinking about your kind of content strategy and how to best reach people that you want to know about your business and kind of let them know this is where you are right now and this is what's coming down the pipeline. A way to do that is actually what we call CrowdTangle. Facebook launched CrowdTangles across every single state where you can go in real time and see content that people are posting, whether it's local community groups, small businesses, government agencies, elected officials. And this really lets you see kind of what are people talking about on our platform and what's trending. And that's really going to help you as you create your content strategy, because the way first Facebook works in terms of our newsfeed is that we're going to look at all of the content that's been posted by users, and we're going to rank that content, and it's going to consider things of what are people talking about. Because one of the things we want to make sure is that we're showing people interesting stuff on their newsfeed that they've signaled to us that they do want to see. So would definitely recommend you just take a look at the CrowdTangle dashboards, and we'll make sure that we get you the links after, just so you have a better sense, especially in California and in the Bay Area, kind of what is trending in your area, so you kind of know opportunities to weigh into that discussion as well with your content. Next slide. So stickers. So Diana touched upon this, but we are launching a ton of stickers. The one that we just launched recently is the Support Small Businesses. And one of the great things about if you use any of these stickers on Instagram is that Instagram is actually surfacing it to the top of an Instagram account. So whenever a user goes in, if anyone has used that sticker, it's going to be the first thing that user sees, and they'll be able to click on it and see everyone that they follow that has used that sticker. So other stickers that we've launched are the Stay Home sticker, the Thank You Hour, as well as Thanks Health Heroes. So we definitely recommend jumping in and using some of these stickers, especially if you're looking at new opportunities and ways to kind of get your content on Instagram in front of a larger audience. It's definitely going to be with our consumer stickers right now. Next slide. So stay home profiles. Some of you may have already seen these as well, but these are also a great opportunity for your business if you'd like to create your own stay home profile. So Facebook has our own that you can go in and change on your back end when you go change your profile picture, whether it's on your profile or your business page. You have the ability to use one of our stay home profile stickers that we've created, or you could create your own. But this, again, is a really great opportunity, and we're seeing a ton of people use it across the platform to really rally together and encourage social distancing. And you even have some that say, I'm staying home because I want to support this business, or I want to save this life. But definitely wanted to make sure that you all were aware of our stay home stickers and that everyone has access to them. Next slide. So I want to go through some of the advantages of using Facebook in terms of our free native tools, meaning that they are of no cost to you. While we definitely have advertising on the platform if you want to reach a more targeted audience. So say if you're trying to reach somebody by gender, by age, that's definitely a possibility. But we wanted to go through kind of how you could tap into the native tools that are already on the platform to really reach your supporters and the people that you're trying to engage on our platform. Next slide. So one of the things that I always like to tell people to keep in mind is that you really want to optimize for a mobile first experience on our platform. And that's because 90% of discovery on Facebook right now is mobile. So in terms of what that means for you as you're thinking about the content that you want to post on our platform, vertical images and videos are always going to be key when you're thinking about any content you want to post on behalf of your small business. And that's because that's going to take up the entire real estate of somebody's screen. Versus if I post something horizontal, I can still be distracted by what's at the top or bottom of that post. Another thing you're going to want to make sure you're doing is using video subtitles. Unlike Instagram, which is a platform that we've seen from research that is really designed for sound on, when people access Facebook, a majority of our users are not doing that with sound turned on. So you 100% want to make sure that any videos that you're posting, that you're leveraging our subtitles. Facebook has our own version of automatic subtitles that you can use, or you can use a third party if you prefer that. But would definitely recommend that you are using subtitles so you're not missing users that can engage and catch key moments. And then last, simple graphics are going to be key. So if you're going to be using graphics, we would definitely encourage you to keep it anywhere from 9 to 10 words max. And that's just because, again, our users are going to be accessing your business pages on their phone, and you want to make sure that it's not too text heavy and that they're still able to read and engage with your content. Next slide. So I wanted to spend just a little bit of time talking about groups for pages. Groups are really a way where you can foster community and drive discussion. In terms of how we've seen businesses use groups though, they really used it to kind of like rally in terms of whether it's letting people know about, we've had some people that have made, if like you're a restaurant, they may actually use it to show like different recipes that they're doing, that people that in the local community can tune in with them. As well as like any volunteers or virtual events that they'll be hosting instead. But would definitely recommend right now in terms of what we see trending, it's definitely groups and Facebook Live right now. Next slide. So Facebook Live, if you have not thought about using Facebook Live, I definitely want to take the time to really plug in how much engagement we've seen on Live. One of the great things about this tool is you can broadcast from any mobile app. Facebook actually sends notifications to all of your engaged followers. So anytime you go live off your business page, all of your followers are going to get an alert letting them know that you're live. And of our end, we've seen Facebook Lives get 10 times more engagement and three times more in terms of viewers than regular videos do. So if there's any tool right now that you have not used on our platform that is completely free, would 100% recommend actually leveraging Facebook Live. And there's tons of opportunities to go live, and you don't need a whole production crew to do it. You can simply go live from your phone, from your tablet, from desktop, and it can be really simple, especially right now. People really love selfie mode. So even if you want to turn the camera on yourself, that's all great content and things to consider on the platform. Next slide. So last, I just want to talk about pinned post. Pinned posts are a great way if there's information that's constantly changing with your business, which we know is a lot of people right now. It's kind of hard for our users to come and kind of search through all of the comments, which is why we'd recommend doing a pinned post. And what that's going to do is that's going to stay at the very top of your page. And that way, if there's any like time sensitive, like critical information, or just need to know, so whether you're changing business hours, if you have new updates to your menu, this way your users can go and see it all in one post, and then you can update that post as you please instead of having to write a new post to send out every single time. So I would definitely recommend, if you've seen that things are constantly changing, that you just do a pinned post at the top of your page. And that way it's the first thing that users see when they go to your business page, so they can get the information quickly and efficiently. Next slide. So we wanted to end with just some features for business pages, if you are not aware of them, just to call them out. So on your business page, you have the ability to display your menu, list your services, or showcase your products with the shop section. Also, I'd recommend using page insights. And what page insights are is if you've seen maybe a decline in reach or just stalled reach on your page, and you want to kind of know like what's going on, is there content that I should be posting that I'm not? Page insights are a great way for you to go and see kind of what content have I been posting and how are people engaging with it. And this really lets you kind of set your engagement strategy, and Facebook will show you these were your top 10 posts of the week, of the month. This is the demographic that's engaging it. This is the area that they're from. So if you're not using page insights right now, I would definitely recommend doing that, especially if you're trying to increase your reach and engagement on our page. And last, we know many of you do not have enough time to go in and post every day. Completely understand that. So if you have found yourself in this predicament, I would definitely recommend using tools such as Creator Studio. Creator Studio is a great tool, especially for Instagram, that you can schedule posts ahead of time. So that way you don't have to like worry or think about having to post every single day. As well on Facebook, using Messenger. So some of you may be using Messenger right now. For those of you that aren't, Messenger is just a great tool for you to leverage if you want to set up automatic replies, especially if you see some of the same questions getting asked over and over again. You can set up instant greetings and replies on Messenger. That way when people come and are asking you like, when are you reopening? Do you have pickup service right now? That way those questions and answers are kind of already plugged in. So when someone asks them, they don't have to wait on you to give them a response. And with that, I want to say thank you all so much. And we'll make sure, Diane and I will, that you all have all of the resources and follow-up information regarding everything that we discussed today. Thanks.
Thank you so very much, Janelle. We're actually going to be transitioning at this very moment to the Q&A session. And we'd like to encourage all of our participants to utilize the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen to submit your questions. Once again, I would like to thank Janelle, Diana, and Ali for sharing their engagement strategies in response to COVID-19. First question that we have in the Q&A function is, if I connect a business account to my personal on Nextdoor, do viewers see any personal info like address, etc.?
Great question. No, we don't display any of your information on your business page. In fact, the only information that's displayed on the business page is the information that you want. So your business address, the business name, operating hours, things like that. We don't display any of your personal information.
Thank you, Ali. The next question, also for Nextdoor. We are a franchisee and we have territories, so I can only promote in a city level, not to other cities. Do I have full control on promoting?
Another great question. So that's the reason we launched a local deals product. so that as a business, if you want to promote a deal, an offer, a coupon, if you want to publish general information, you can make that as broad or as narrow as you want. So it can be as broad as a city, or a bunch of zip codes, or as narrow as a neighborhood or a set of households within that neighborhood. And the pricing varies depending on how broad or narrow you want to make the targeting as a business.
Thank you, Ali. The third question for Facebook: how can you get more information about Facebook Live to be able to successfully host a live event?
Yeah, great question. So we have a ton of guides that I can make sure I follow up with. And one of the things I'll also send is that if you want to have a virtual Facebook Live event, I'll give you like step-by-step on best practices, things you want to consider. So everything from, do you want someone to go live with you? And one of the things that Facebook actually just brought back is you can now do a Facebook Live with on a profile. So if there's somebody you want to bring in and do the live with you, you now have that ability. And again, this is only on profiles, not on pages, but they're working on it. And with Instagram, you can also do an Instagram Live with, but we'll make sure you get like a best practices guide and kind of how to set up appropriately for a live, whether it's going to be in person as some of you all are reopening, or if it's going to be a virtual event.
Thank you. Next question. Do you have any specific tips or resources for nonprofit organizations on both Nextdoor and Facebook during this time?
I'm happy to take that first. There's three sort of entities that are able to post information on Nextdoor. The first is members, and the majority of our posts and our content are actually from our users and our members. The second are the small businesses and anyone who's running advertising on Nextdoor, and then the third are the local agencies, the police department, the Department of Emergency Management, the fire department, and again during COVID-19, they've predominantly used Nextdoor as a way to get timely information out to people in the neighborhood. Nonprofits, we encourage to kind of participate as businesses on Nextdoor. So they can set up a business page, which is free. They can direct people to that page for information. And then if they want to communicate something specifically to the neighborhood, then we would point them to our advertising product and allow them to post as narrowly or as broadly as they'd like.
Janelle or Diana, would you like to provide an answer to this question as well? And I'll be happy to repeat the question one more time. And it is, do you have any specific tips or resources for nonprofit organizations on Facebook during this time?
Yeah, so I'll take the first half and let Diana chime in. So we actually launched also a social good like nonprofit hub where you can go and it has all of the resources and products related to nonprofits that they can leverage during COVID. And this hub is frequently updated. And Diana also talked about this product, but most of our nonprofits, if you're a 501c3, you are eligible to apply for our like donation sticker. So you can use our donation sticker, and you can use it in a Facebook Live as well. So if you want to go live, you can actually pin the donation sticker and people can donate in real time. But we'll make sure that you have a link and resources to all of that and how to set that up.
Wonderful, thank you. Next question. Sorry about that.
I'll also just add to that quickly is that we also do and pride ourselves on bringing trainings for small businesses and nonprofits to your community. So traditionally we have a program that's called Boost with Facebook, where we would go around the country and host mini summits for small businesses and nonprofits to really maximize and leverage our tools to the best of their ability. We are currently working on moving all of that content online, and we're going to be making sure to reach out to your local SBDCs, your SBAs, your chambers, and other support and policy partners with us so that we can bring that training to you. Definitely go on to our business resource hub, where you will be able to use the tools that I was talking about in the digital learning and digital marketing part of the Business Resource Hub, which again is facebook.com/business. But again, we'll be continuing to update the tips and tools so that nonprofits can utilize our trainings as well.
Thank you very much, Diana. If you missed the Facebook application timeframe for grants and credit, what can we do? I was not able to complete on time. Can you contact me?
I would say to continue to look back at the business resource page. Again, we'll continue to update that and provide as much support as we can to the business community. The grants application is closed, but again, please do consistently go back to our page to see how else we can support you.
Thank you very much. The next question is for Nextdoor. I may be moving my business from Northern California to Southern California next year. If I create a business page now, can I transport it to the new neighborhood when I move, or will I need to create a new page?
You'll need to create a new page, because all of the information for the Northern California business would be specific to Northern California. So the recommendations that we show for businesses in the neighborhood are from people in the neighborhood, and so our feeling is it wouldn't be relevant. It would no longer be relevant once the business kind of moves location into the new neighborhood. We want to keep recommendations sort of contained to the neighborhood that you live in. One, because we think it carries more social proof, but two, because you can actually contact neighbors. So if I read a recommendation about a business or about a service provider on Nextdoor and I have more questions, I can actually direct message that neighbor and ask a question. So if you're moving or if the business is moving, you'll have to set up a new business page and a new business profile.
Thank you very much. The next question is for Facebook. Could you provide guidance on creating fundraising campaigns on Facebook for nonprofits or for-profits?
Yeah, so there is multiple steps there. So I can send you all step-by-step instructions instead of going by each one. So we'll make sure you get that after, but we have the whole process laid out online, whether you're a for-profit or nonprofit. So we'll make sure we send that to you.
Thank you very much, Janelle. The next statement, a telephone is needed for directions on how to use Facebook in your business in Spanish. More education is needed in our Latino community.
So I will say that is something that we are working on and developing our trainings and moving them into Spanish. So that is something that we are actively working on. Again, for the grants program, we made sure that the application was fully in Spanish and had guides as well to make sure, because we do want to reach and support as many people as we can. So that is something that we are, in terms of our trainings and other resources, we are working on bringing those opportunities into Spanish.
Thank you, Diana. Next question. How much is involved in creating an advertisement in Facebook?
Yeah, so in terms of advertising on Facebook, there's, depending on what you're going to be advertising about. So right now, if you want to talk about social issues, which some of you may fall into, you actually have to go through our political ads authorization process in order to be able to complete and run ads about advertising. But if not, you would just need to go through, and we'll send like the guide in terms of how you advertise. But I see someone else ask, like, how much do we charge in terms of advertising on Facebook? The way Facebook advertising works is that you set your own budget, your own objective, as well as your own targets. And we actually have courses online. So if you type in Facebook Blueprint, there's a ton of free courses that are all about advertising, everyone from someone that's just starting out to someone that may be far advanced, maybe has an agency to help them. But I would 100% recommend going there, and it'll walk you through each step and kind of really help you with your like ad objective as you're trying to figure out how you want to advertise on our platform and how to best create your campaign.
Thank you, Janelle. The next question. Can you add multiple people to the same business account on Nextdoor? Can you change login information later if someone created the account and leaves the company?
So there will always be a single email address tied to a business page. business owners can of course share their login credentials with each other if they want other people to log in and have access to that information. And you can, if somebody leaves the business and you want to change the email address, you can do that as well. We'll go through the process of re-verifying the business, but that's instantaneous. So the short answer is yes, you can change the email address tied to your business account anytime.
Thank you. What kind of paid advertisement can you purchase on Nextdoor, Facebook, or Instagram? Does it attract the people in the local area?
I can take that first. As I mentioned in the presentation, you can buy local deals on Nextdoor. So as a business, you can target as broadly or as narrowly as you like, and what you promote is up to you. It can be an offer, it can be a coupon, it can be, these are our daily specials. We've seen lots of businesses promote pickup and delivery options and things like that during COVID-19. And the cost depends on how broad or how narrow your targeting is. So it's as little as $5 a month to a few $100s a month, depending on how broad the targeting is.
Thank you, Ali. And for Facebook?
Yeah, so for Facebook, you have to think of it in terms of, it's going to be, again, kind of what is your budget. So it can be, if you have a post that you put up and say you want to boost it, and I kind of want to go over the difference between boosting a post versus running an ad. Boosting is what you see on Facebook, where it just says, do you want to boost a post? You click yes, and it just goes to everyone. Versus if you run an advertisement on our platform, that's where you actually can target. So I know a lot of times people get them confused. So you can absolutely boost a post, put $5 behind it, $10, completely up to you. Or you can run an ad. Again, when you run an ad, budget depends on you, but that's really when you get really into the weeds. So if you want to target by zip code, if you have actually an email list and you want to kind of basically upload a matching email list and kind of target based off that. So there's a ton of different options. And again, it's all going to be set on kind of what your preference is and who you're trying to reach.
Thank you, Janelle. The next question, what is Facebook doing to improve the communication here in the Bay Area?
Erin, can you follow up in terms of communication, in terms of what topic, to give more clarity to us?
We'll continue with the next question for Facebook. Do you recommend sizes for the simple graphics, and what are they?
Yeah, so we have them all online. I do not have all of them memorized because they change, whether it's a video, whether it's a photo, but we can make sure that we send it after, both for Facebook and Instagram, the recommended sizes.
Great, thank you. What if the business is an online business? Can it still be posted on and registered with Nextdoor with the owner's address or business address?
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't need to be a brick and mortar business or a business with a storefront to set up a business page or post or run an ad on Nextdoor. Online businesses can do that as well.
Thank you, Ali. Next question. I have tried to do Facebook ads before, but I ran into a lot of problems with wording. I do a type of energy healing that correlates very specifically to actual health issues and diagnoses. I do not diagnose ailments, and I am not a doctor, but the Facebook ad program kept rejecting the ad. I'm guessing it was because it mentioned things like experiencing healing and benefits related to PTSD in the same ad. Maybe it thought I was advertising a cure, which was not what I was doing. Is there anything I can do to make advertising wording work better for my business?
So Michelle, you hit one of our most common problems that we see businesses face, is that we actually have a 20% text penalty. So that means that was Facebook telling you that your ad had too much text. And that's because on our end, we've deemed from our research that any advertisements with text that are more than 20% do not perform that well on our platform. So you have a couple options here. You can actually appeal, which is what I would recommend. Or you can create a new advertisement and make sure it's like not as text heavy. So again, remember I mentioned 90% of discovery right now is on mobile. So with that in mind, Facebook kind of has an auction with our ads, and we want to make sure that we're putting ads in front of people that they'll actually engage and interact with. So I'd recommend running the ad again, but cutting back on some of that text.
Thank you, Janelle. Next question, how long do Facebook Live events stay on after the event?
Yeah, so a Facebook Live, once you go live, stays on your page until you decide to delete it. So as soon as you go live, you have the option to either delete it, to leave it on your page. We also recommend saving the video. What we see a lot of people do as businesses is they'll save the video and actually cut it up and use some of it as small clips to create stories on their Facebook page or Instagram. But great question, but it just stay until you decide to delete it.
Thank you. Next question, and the last one. We applied for a Facebook grant a while ago. When will we know the results?
Sure. So because the application's just closed, keep your eye out on your email. We're hoping to turn things around as quickly as we can, but we are, of course, taking extreme care. We've received a lot of applications and a lot of interest, and we want to make sure that we're doing our best due diligence to make sure that everyone, we can assess everyone equally. So keep your eyes out on your emails over the next couple of weeks, and you should hear something relatively soon.
Thank you. That now concludes our Q&A session. Moving along. The following is a list of resources. If you would like to be a presenter or receive information about upcoming events, please contact Mirza Hanzar at mirza.hanzar@sanjoseca.gov to share topic ideas. Resources pertaining to business layoffs or downsizing, please contact the Workers Adjustment and Retraining Notification Business Service team at work2future@sanjoseca.gov. For all other COVID-19 inquiries, please send an email to covid19sjbusiness@sanjose.ca.gov. Once again, that's covid19sjbusiness@sanjose.ca.gov or call 1-877-880-1222. Please note translation services are available and in Spanish. Our upcoming webinar is scheduled for next Thursday, May 21st, beginning at 3 o'clock. Our speaker agency that will be participating is the Small Business Development Center in Vietnamese language. Our topic will focus on access to funding and support. Participants will get updated information about the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, and other available resources for small businesses impacted by COVID-19. To register, please check your email, go to our Zoom webinar, or email Mirza Hanzar at mirza.hanzar@sanjoseca.gov to sign up today. We'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that you will receive a survey in your email box. Please take an opportunity to provide us with your guidance, as this will enable us to provide relevant content in the near future. On behalf of the City of San Jose, thank you very much for your participation. And please visit our website at sjeconomy.com for our future webinar topics and related resources. Thank you and have a wonderful day.